What's good, everybody? I didn't fix the camera. The shit away. As you can see, it is not a technical fun day today. If you were on the stream right before, I was in the car. I had my phone hooked up to the charger in the car, but apparently the charger in the car is not working correctly, so my phone died right in the middle of the stream, which is not fun. The other thing that happened is came home to do the repeat stream and AM is live. I want to be watching AM. I also want some fucking alcohol. It feels like that kind of day. And it wasn't beforehand. Beforehand it was just boring. But now it's downright irritating. And now I gotta edit this video to see why the fuck it just dropped all of a sudden. Anyway, I'm Artist NFC, and this is a repeat of the last stream of me ranting and raving about She-Hulk and how good it is actually not, and how it's getting a lot of praise for being good, and it's not actually that good. What up, Malika? Yeah, I know you up there doing double duty. AM live right now too. I need to be over there. Need to be over there watching, checking in with brother AM. But I wanted to think I owed you guys one to come back and let you know what had happened was my phone died. See that critical? I'd say 5%. The motherfucker completely died. Right in the middle of the stream, even though it was plugged in. So it is what it is. That's just how things are going right now for the kid. So I'm not happy about that shit, but life doesn't work on you being happy. It's not about that. Yeah, it happens. It does. Like it just my phone didn't die all day. Right? It just wasn't charging on the charging cord in my van. And then when I went back to the office to charge it on power, they told me, "Hey, you were supposed to be gone at 2:30. It's fucking damn near 4 o'clock now." It's like, oh, well, I forgot, and I will be taking my due. But then I jumped in the car, had some things I wanted to say to you guys, and plugged it into the car charger. And apparently it wasn't charging at all while I was sitting there. So it died right when I got into the meat of it and got to my first stop before I got home. So, yeah, it's been that. So, I'll probably keep this short because I want to go see what AM is talking about. And I need to edit this other fucking video. It just has a dead spot at the end of it now. Fucking hell, dude. Technology. And I have some other shit to do before I go ahead and turn on Skyrim again and go back to bludgeoning the shit out of people with a sword. I will say, what's up, Aquateki? Yeah, round 2. Rant! I will say, shout out to G Serotonin. Y'all know who he is in space. Dude who hit me to the R.L. Salvatore Drizzt series books. I didn't realize it when I was playing before because I didn't know who Drizzt was. But my dark elf character in Skyrim is pretty much like Drizzt Duorden. It's pretty much that character. He uses two blades. He's a dark elf because I'm black, so why the fuck not? And yeah, he takes none. So I actually thought that would actually make a good way to morph that character into Drizzt. So I might do that. But I've noticed recently in the last couple of months I've been going back to things that I actually liked, really had a good experience with, which is Skyrim. And that's because some of this other shit is just too fucking dull for me. Like I just saw something up there talking about She-Hulk has better watch viewers than Ms. Marvel, and I'm like, well, that's not surprising. Of course, you know why? Because She-Hulk is the one they put a lot of effort into promoting and crying about. She-Hulk was going to toe the feminist line. Ms. Marvel didn't. Ms. Marvel was about a young Pakistani girl, teenage girl. She-Hulk is about frumpy white chick, or not frumpy, a little miniature white woman who turns into a 7-foot tall bombshell with big ass and titties and legs and stuff. Which one do you think grown women were watching? Which one do you think guys will line up to watch? Get the fuck out of here. That's this. Look, nothing information related on a nothing ass fucking episode of a show. I'm gonna have to figure out something else with the mic because I don't like having to wear these damn earphones. I can't sit where I want to. And I can't relax the way I want to, which means I'll have to move my camera. Yeah, TNA all day. That's why I called it the first time I saw the trailer for it. Call it green legs and yams, because that's all it was showing. That's the first in the trailer, the teaser trailer. What did you get? You got her legs and her ass, and that she was green, and that was it. It cut off right there. Never showed you her face or none of that shit. It's like, oh well, now I know what you want me to see and focus on. Okay. I still stand by my comment though earlier that you watch 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel and then watch 2 episodes of She-Hulk. Which one is the better show based on that? Which one has you more interested based on that? For me, I'm saying Ms. Marvel, and not because I'm disliking She-Hulk, just because it had me more interested in 2 episodes to see what the hell was going on. My commentary was about what was going on in that show. My commentary wasn't on what Easter eggs they threw into the show and not mentioning shit about the story for the show. No, it's not what it was. That means the show sucks. Yeah, but yeah, +1 for Miss Marvel. Yeah, +1 for the geek audience, because that's basically what it is. Is Ms. Marvel was tracking towards young geeks? Who do you think She-Hulk is tracking towards? Because you got the other episodes coming up with the soccer moms of the country club bitches all being amazed about her, about how girl, you thinking of? Really? Get the fuck out of here. Who cares? Because at least in the trailer, it seemed like She-Hulk is strictly dickly. So don't look like she a big green lesbian. But you think she gonna get any praise from men? No. She's picking up a man and taking him to the bedroom like she about to peg him. which she could probably do. I don't know. So we'll see. I really want some fucking alcohol, just because I'm irritable. I'm home early and little nothing fucks to do. Is that my phone? Obviously, it must be my phone. So that's where I am. I'm a little bit jaded and dismayed with this whole geek stuff. I am. It can't be my phone. But who else's phone would it be? So I have earphones in, so it's fucking up my spatial awareness because I'm hearing tings. That means it should be my work phone, but I'm not hearing it out of my ear. I'm hearing it through the microphone because the microphone's picking it up. I'm not hearing it. Beastly Nerd said, her being straight 304, I wouldn't be surprised if she'd get some coffee in one of these episodes. See, here's the thing with She-Hulk. She's not necessarily, well, She-Hulkish in a sense, right? She-Hulk, somebody was pointing this out in their review about how she is in the comics, which is the version of her I like in the comics. She-Hulk is completely comfortable with herself. That's why she stays in her She-Hulk form most of the time. That's what she always wanted. Jennifer Walters is not confident in herself. So what they've done in this show is reverse that. So that good thing that you would like, that you would look forward to seeing that She-Hulk character for, they reversed it. Jennifer Walters is totally comfortable being the little mousy, springy haired self she is. She's kind of insecure being the big She-Hulk. That ruins the best part of that fucking character. Because the best part of that character was She-Hulk just being out there and like, yeah, she's a woman, she's beautiful, she's big, she's like she wanted to be, voluptuous and everything else. And yeah, she can go out there and get what she wants. No guy has a problem with that. They don't. I don't think a lot of women have a problem with that. But it's all in how you do it. And it goes that same way with the guy. It does. See, you don't think so because you have so many, feminist leaning or feminist indoctrinated women out there that think they can tell you what it's like to be a man, having never been a fucking man. And not knowing the struggles of a man. They only barely know they struggle. Barely. Because what they think they struggle is money, wages, and emotions. No, your emotions is your strong suit. That's what women are good for. Like a Karen crying when she want to get some black dude fucked up. Your emotions is your strong suit. Because it plays on other people's emotions. It can get people fucked up. Right or wrong. Now, all the rest of that shit. For guys, I just lost my train of thought. Doesn't work. Doesn't. Our struggles are different. Unique to us being men. So unique, in fact, that even gay men will still deal with them a little bit. But they get a pass, and the only reason they do get a pass is because now they are off your dinner plate as something that you would want to fuck. So now he became one of your girlfriends, but he'll still get the same kind of shit. A little bit. A little bit. If it came down to a situation where it was your job or his, you'd still have a job. You'd let that motherfucker walk down and go, oh, it's so wrong how they did you, Twan. It is so wrong. I don't know who said any of that shit. Who knew you were getting a hand job in the copy room? You should just go and sue and say they were being discriminatory because you were a proud gay man. Yeah. So yeah, she was just confident about herself. That was it. She was just confident. I don't have a problem with that shit. That's why. That's why everybody can joke about She-Hulk being a hoe, but just it's like a wink and a nod laugh. Like, yeah, she a hoe because she's dated. So the same time you talking about how she was fucking Hawkeye, look, you can talk about how Hawkeye was fucking a bunch of other chicks. It's the same shit. Because Mr. Shaft throw the shaft. Hawkeye know how to throw some shaft. Apparently, he was fucking She-Hulk. So, and like Beasley is saying, which is why we like the character. Men are attracted to confident women. Why you guys think I like Gina Carano? And she's low key shy, but she's confident and capable. Don't seem to have a problem with that at all. I don't have a problem with strong women. I was raised by some. He's one of them. I don't have a problem with that shit. Problem is when that shit becomes toxic. When you try to become the masculinity that you envy and measure yourself next to the masculine standard that you cannot reach. And you never will. Because everybody who looks at you sees a woman and not a man. You're not ever playing on the same field as us, ever. And every time it is a balanced field where you have to perform on the same field that we do, you lose. And you cry, you bitch, and you whine. Just like everybody is doing about this fucking show, wanting it to be good. And mad that people who watch this stuff engage it next to other Marvel movies, other Marvel female characters, say it's not good. You can call us all the names you fucking want to. It ain't gonna make the show any better at all. And that proves you cannot compete because this is the drivel that you put out, which is actually insult to any actual independent women doing it. You know, I saw a mother today. Yeah, a breeder, probably not even 30 years old, taking care of her son who is autistic. She's all of about 200 pounds, blue hair, ignoring the fuck out of that kid while he just running around doing little boy shit, I guess. Would I say she has a greater struggle than I do? Would I say that my struggle pales in comparison to what she's struggling with? Staying in a house that's paid for, getting to lay on her ass 10 o'clock in the morning under blankets and television and internet and everything else. And all that shit is paid for. Some of it by taxpayers. While she ignores her fucking child who's on the spectrum, just running around playing, doing crazy shit. so she can sit on her phone. No, not the same struggles, not the same fight. And I think we should be wary of people who always trying to make that shit relative. You understand that that kind of relativism is what got all these little small islands taken over by colonizers, which is why those little small islands and countries and stuff like that all have Christianity into it. It was that relativism that came in there and pimped off on them their religious values, their white gods and white Jesus, and told them that their natural gods that they had forever, that people have always had, were inferior. And this was the better way to go. So much so that Christianity is still there to this day. It has a bigger foothold than their native religions. Shit. Look, Beasley or Aquateki, it's not even can't handle constructive criticism. There's two C's in there that they can't handle. One being constructive, which means you have to make something. You have to build it from the ground up. That's construction. The other one is criticism, which means you have to be objective to whatever it is that you put out. That there you accept the fact that there could be something wrong in something that you did. Could be. Doesn't matter what the hell it is that you did. There can be something wrong in it because humans are fallible and none of us are perfect. So if somebody comes back and tells you, hey, this CG on this looks a bit off. If you understand that you're not perfect and you've had struggles, you would say, really? Let me take a look at that and see what's up with that. You wouldn't say, oh, see, this is just men trying to own the female body. The fuck are you doing? Trying to take ownership of a fictional character's body? You didn't create this fucking character. You didn't even make the CG that went into it. So any of us saying that it looks off should have been looked at to say, oh, well, look, it worked for the people who put out the Sonic movie. It worked for them like gangbusters. They put out a trailer, people looked at that shit and was like, no, Sonic don't look right. That looked fucked up. What did they do? We'll take care of it. A year later, they put out that movie, looked awesome, made a bunch of money. Bunch. Because they listened to the fan base. They listened to that critique on what they put out there. And went back and looked at it and said, oh, no, we don't want to put that out there for you guys. We'll fix it. Put the movie out a little later and reap the benefits of fixing it. Speaking of reaping the benefits, anybody seen Top Gun Maverick? Here's to doing shit right. Cheers to that $1 billion movie that ain't got one superhero in it at all. No spandex, no colorful suits, no extended universe, nothing. Just a fucking movie about military people flying jet planes into an unnamed country, working on some chemical weapons and making sure they don't have that ability to do it. Yeah, Aquateki, that's the biggest one to date. That's recent history. Sonic fans was like, hell no, fix this now. And they listened. And what happened? They made a shitload of money. They made a whole nother movie off of that. But if they would have went with that shit the way it looked initially and just put it out, they would have lost more money than they ever made on fixing it. They actually gained more money by fixing it because more people wanted to see, did they fix it? Let's see what it looks like. They got more people in there. And it was a better movie, I'm sure. Yeah, knocked them game off the top of the hill. Look, didn't even have as many characters. Half of the characters, more than half of the characters in that shit is new. There's only one character that came back from the original movie. That's Tom Cruise. And Iceman. Excuse me, there's two. I would count Penny Benjamin because she was mentioned, but you never saw her. You had to understand who the Admiral's daughter was. So I feel bad that I never actually put out my review and put Penny Benjamin in there first because nobody knew that shit beforehand. I picked it up as soon as I heard it say, Penny Benjamin. Oh shit, that's awesome. Because I'm a Top Gun fan. I actually watched the movie when it came out. Not after the second one, but you know, little things. You don't know what you came in on? I'm not gonna flirt with you. I'm not gonna flirt with you, Toya. BTM, I'm not. I'm not gonna flirt. That was a wide opening for a flirt, but I'm not gonna do it. What's up, BTM? I like your little kaleidoscope foot walking thing. That was actually kind of cool on Instagram. That looked kind of cool. I like kaleidoscopes, that kaleidoscopic view, because you try to look at it and figure out what it is that you're actually seeing, right? So if you watch Sandman, they do it at the end of the show. The end credits are all kaleidoscopes, right? And it's always something weird that they're doing the kaleidoscope effects on. One of them is like a spider, and that shit looks really cool until you figure out it's a close-up zoom in on like spider legs. That shit is creepy as fuck. But I like that view because it's always be something different. Yeah, and they got a sequel for Sonic. Yeah, they got a sequel because they made so much money on that first one, listening to the fans. Who didn't listen to the fucking, well, Fox kind of listened to the fans with that Age of Apocalypse shit, kind of, because Oscar Isaac was looking Ivan oozed in a motherfucker. He was Ivan oozing it to the motherfucker. Boy, they should have never let that shit leak. That's why you don't need to look at all leaks. Don't. Oh, we got some leak footage. Don't look at it. Don't. Unless your job is reviewing this shit, or you just want to be the smart one with your friends talking about all the geek shit you know, don't look at that shit. You're ruining the movie for yourself. That's why I don't look at it. No. I don't give. I want people who work on this stuff, who got some access to see these things, to shut their fucking mouth so I can enjoy the movie. That's what I want. I want them to shut up or get fired. I don't need a lot of leaks like that. If they filming in your neighborhood and your apartment is overlooking where they're filming and you can see some shit, okay, that's good. That's cool. That's the cost of doing business. You in my fucking neighborhood, so I can take all the pictures I want. But you working on this shit, you just I just want to, get a little money, leak this information, leak this picture. You need to get fired. You do. Because you can't hold to no fucking secrecy. You ruin it for the fan base every time you do that shit. It's bad enough everybody's a goddamn critic and got some access. Because then everybody get in and go back and talk the same shit. So you don't need extra leaks. I like that surprise element in my geek stuff. I do. I'm mad. You hear me rail on it often of how much they put in trailers. Put too much. Marvel is notorious for putting the best pops in the fucking trailer. Like, if you would have shut your mouth, you could have made 10% more money if nobody saw that until the movie. But you put it in the trailer. Way to go, idiot. No. All day. Hate that all day. I miss my homeboy Art's comments. What'd he say? Hello, how are you? I'm feeling like shit, Art, anymore. I actually do. Probably a little bit depressed. Probably a little bit depressed. I think that was planned for the Sonic movie. I mean, they caught it, and that would have been, yeah. Think of how bad that shit would have sucked if they ever let that shit fly. Who said, "Fuck these fans? They don't know what they're talking about. We putting this shit out the way we want to for Sonic. This is how Sonic looks now." Boy, you would have been able to sell a Sonic sippy cup. You would have sold Sonic shit. Couldn't sell a Sonic ring toss game at a 99-cent store. Mm-hmm. They had to fuck that whole franchise off, which is what Lucasfilms, with Kathleen Kennedy sitting at the helm, has been showing you how to do. Fuck off a whole franchise. And that's part of my disappointment and depression too right now, is that all this stuff with Lucasfilms and Kathleen Kennedy and stuff like that. This bitch is really. I've been saying it for a while, but she really was trying to tear this man's legacy completely down. Completely down. I haven't even wanted to report on some of this stuff with you guys because it's a lot going on behind the scenes, but understandably, she got no control over shit anymore, except for that Skeleton Crew show. She got 45% control over the Acolyte show now because John, George, and Dave is in there to take care of the other half of the shit. But the part that you find out that she was doing, that she does have control over, she was about to go to town with Yoda. She was about to put it this way. How bad do you think the fan base would react to a gender swap Revan? How bad do you think the fan base would react to a gender swapped Malik? And I can only assume this. I'd only assume this. But how do you think the fan base will react to a Yoda that was, maybe he was a little squishy in the green gills? Maybe he never wanted to be a Jedi or some shit. This bitch was really, truly. I speculated it just on what I saw. That was my speculation on what I saw. That she was just really trying to tear this whole man's shit down around his ears. Oh no. She was pulling some straight xenomorph shit. Get into a franchise, take over the fucking host, kill it on your way out. She was literally in there killing off every one of this man's legacy characters to make her own universe inside that universe and take all those characters. And all of the shit she was doing was copies from other people's shit. That's all it was. That's not creative. This is the part I'm looking at over this last couple of weeks that's really been depressing me. To say it bluntly, in the way only I can, these bitches ain't creative. All they know how to do is copy other people's stuff. Other successful creators who created universes and stuff, they'll copy it and gyno wash it and put it back out there. And now you're supposed to like it. You know why they copied it? Because you liked it the first time. So since you liked it the first time, their reasoning is, well, you should like it the second time if we just remix it and, turn all the M's to F's. No. Nothing that I've seen since the rise, not even the Rise of Skywalker, since Force Awakens, helmed by her has been an original idea. Not one has been an original KK all day idea. None of them. All they've been is rehashes of work George already did. That's why every movie was a rehash of the other three movies he already did. Now, I've had a hard time trying to put it together. Like, is this the Iger influence in Disney, where they just want to take a hold and own the Star Wars brand with their own characters that they create? Because that makes kind of sense, right? Business wise. If I bought a franchise from you and you had a character like fucking Bugs Bunny, do I want to keep paying you because I'm using Bugs Bunny? Or will I give you something like Bugs Bunny, maybe Bugs Bunny's son or something like that, that I created, so I can use that character and make money off of it, and then not have to pay you for the elder bugs because I'm not using them anymore. To me, business wise, it kind of makes some sense. You want your shit that's yours paying you. You don't want to have to keep, hey, we made $1 billion. Here's your check, George. Maybe you don't want to do that, right? Maybe. But with this universe, being that this man, knock on wood, is still alive, thankfully, this bitch was wholesale just trying to kill his children, every one of them. They either get down or they lay down. She wanted Leia, but she got rid of that slave Leia shit, didn't she? Oh, Disney got way away from that shit, didn't they? They're going to give you Rey, who damn near could have been gender neutral. Because they picked the flattest board of a female you could have ever found. And I'm not saying that because Daisy Ridley is uglier than anything like that to me. She just, it's not a lot of there. That could have been a guy. Rey could have been a guy all day. But I think that was the intent. Now, the rest of the stuff that has happened has been proven with her track record of killing these characters. She had it in for all of them. All George Lucas's legacy characters, she had it in for. And anyone she had her hands in, you could see what she did with the character. She basically destroyed the character, tried to destroy it, kill them in their fucking shoes, cut them down, right there. Everyone. Luke got turned into a bitch, a coward, ineffectual teacher, and died. Han was a fucking half an absentee failed father to Kylo, another jumbled up fucking mess of a fucking character that turned out to actually be the only one who had an arc in this whole shit, even though they mixed Jason Solo and Ben Skywalker together in the same fucking character. These bitches don't read and are not fans. Yeah, tried. She pretty much succeeded. It's debatable. It's still life there because some people are there to save it. If John and George and Dave weren't there, yes, I would have said she succeeded. I'd have walked away from Star Wars already. Painfully, slung my lightsaber over my shoulder and walked out with my bantha. Just called her today. But Leia unfortunately died But you know they were trying to prep her for a bigger role. She was going to be better than Luke at everything, as you saw in that Last Jedi bullshit house. She was better than him with a lightsaber. No, the fuck she wasn't ever. Even in Legends, no, she wasn't. She got to that shit late. Shut up. He taught her. He taught her. She didn't have no Padawans, as far as I remember. Chewie was an absentee. R2 got short shrift because they introduced BB-8 to give you something that was better than R2. Because he's a little beach ball. You know what goofy motherfucker thought that one up? Coolest thing about BB-8 is the technology employed to CG the dude running alongside that motherfucker with a stick. A beach ball with a plate with a bowl on top of his head, and that's better than R2. How? Seems pretty fucking limited to me. Seems like if you're not on something that's, I don't know, software that you can roll on like the beach or sand, your ass is useless. A flight of stairs and he's fucked. BB-8 is not useful for shit. Except falling down fucking stairs. Fuck out of here. Now, Chewie was basically backseating to Rey. That was it. He was backseating. Killed his homeboy. He don't even get a funeral. You get one shot and that's it. At best, I think if it was George, you would have seen a Wookiee ripping somebody's goddamn arms off. Think you killed my homeboy for life? And you a son? I seen you grow up? I still might have to rip one of your arms off. Fuck that. That's like a blood vendetta for life. Seeing how long Chewie was going hard against the Empire for what they did to Kashyyyk, why would Kylo be getting off easy? Because he saw when he was a kid? Shit, fuck out of here. You're going to get it worse. You should know better. Yeah, keeping Ed 209 company in the stairs department. Yep. Look, R2 sets the standard for useful mechs. He does. And think of it this way. In every one of those sequel trilogy movies, she introduced a new dumbass droid. What was the last one? The little cone face fucking droid. Something else that just rolls. You get it? You see a similarity here? Instead of a round beach ball for BB-8, the other little cone face thing just had a wheel that it rolled on. This is hell of imaginative, isn't it? Not. These people are not creative. BB-8 was made to replace R2. Try to give him the same personality and shit. No, he doesn't have the same personality. What was the latest one? That fucking Lola shit. Dude, I seen batteries not included. Okay? That's where that shit comes from. If I have to break it to you guys, since nobody said that. That's where she stole that idea from. For the Lola droid. Batteries not included. This bitch has not done anything original. Everything she does, she steals from other places. She takes something that she saw worked, and we got something like that in my movie, and puts that shit in there. So it's basically the biggest hodgepodge of stolen ideas you'll ever want to see. That's why those movies weren't that damn good. Universally panned. So panned that fans like Jon Favreau had to get on the phone. It's like, hey, y'all need some help. I'll come over there and help you because you can't do this to Star Wars. You can't. No, no. Look, I'll come in for free, but we got to fix the Star Wars. You can't do that. That is so wrong. A fan had to get off the bench and try to help them. Like, oh wait a minute. No, stop. Time. Let me sub in because y'all doing it dirty. Pixar's lamping a one wheel skateboard had a love child. Yeah, robots even made love like that. I think they'll just weld together some other shit. Exactly, Aquateki. Exactly. You get in the picture? She has sat in the seat of two very creative legends in this movie shit. Being married to one who's a producer, being Frank Marshall. She ain't got no ideas of her own. None. It's just stuff that she keeps stealing from George and Stephen and Frank. Then who is she? Nobody. Nobody. Let's see. Let's just prove a point since we just having a little geek speak. Here's the thing you have to understand. When she talks about new fans, you know the new fans she's talking about? The ones who don't know shit about the rest of this stuff. Those are the new fans she's talking about. That's why they don't like old folks. Because old folks understand what it was. She wants to turn it into something else and say it's new. It's not fucking new. You stole it from somewhere else. Okay, so just to prove my point, because I'm old enough to know better. What's up, Arya? I ain't seen the chocolate witch in a minute. I ain't gonna flirt with you today either. You tell me which one looks like Lola. You tell me which one looks like the Lola droid. And that's exactly why they're new fans, Aquateki, because they don't know history. They don't know where the character came from. So you can tell them any old shit, and they think that's just it. The left one? Interesting. You know, if you buy that Lola toy, she has a stand that kind of looks like those fucking legs. It could be a mashup of the two. But you tell me, can you not see that fucking Lola droid fitting in with them? Yeah, let's do this. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my fucking god. Ooh, ooh. I'm on her. On her ass. On her ass. On her ass. Let me see if I can bring this one up too. Can I share two screens? No. Fuck. I wish I could share. Okay, so this is the one, right? This is the robots, a couple of the robots from Batteries Not Included, where it was from the 90s and they're all spacious. It is a Spielberg movie after Cocoon, right? Now, this picture is of the toy that you can buy of the Lola droid. Now you tell me what you see. Interesting. It looks like a little spaceship with legs. With one big eye, try to capture that R2 field. And another little eye. Interesting. Curiouser and curiouser. A new webcam. It has one eye, but to me, that other little light would be an eye if they weren't trying to blow it up and get that R2 field. Point being, it looks like a saucer with an eye on it. And the toy will show you that it had little legs that popped out on it too, which takes it right back to being batteries not included. Now, can you see that Lola droid fitting in with this crew? Could have been in the same fucking movie. Tell me how creative this woman is. This producer who talks about creatives. How's that fucking creative? I don't see that as being creative at all. Same shit. Chomped up, regurgitated, and put out there again. She gonna go down in history as being like the John Peters of this shit. Like John Peters got a fixation with spiders and shit like that. Her fixation is dinosaurs. I ain't seen her name on it, but her stink to me is all over that Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Dominion bullshit. That's all shit she'd approve of. Because you know her High Republic was supposed to be full of fucking dinosaurs. Yeah, creatively recycling, yeah. And reselling, repackaged and reselling it to people who don't know any better. That's why you got your Last Jedi and your Rise of Skywalker. Rey Skywalker. Your name ain't been no fucking Skywalker. Thought you was trying to get rid of the legend of the chosen one in the Skywalker line. Thought you were trying to get rid of that shit. No, she did that shit in response to people hating the Rise of Skywalker movie. Oh, well, you know, like this, I'm just gonna get it. I'll just get rid of Anakin altogether, and we'll put a woman there who was the original chosen one, and that whole legend for Anakin was a lie. That sounds like a mad bitch having control of your kids and gonna tell your kids that you hated them, never wanted them, and tried to abort them. That's what this equivalent of. And sending them out there to go fight with you. Spiteful. Here's how spiteful it gets, Aquatechie. It turns out, I found out recently that her and Spielberg fell out a while ago. I'm like, really? I wonder why. What did y'all fall out on? They ain't talked in a minute. I'm thinking it was over this George shit, how she was doing George dirty. So my thinking is maybe they had a threesome. Maybe she was on some Starlight shit and she had to suck off both Steve and George at the same time. And they wouldn't help her, so now she just on a vengeance. Something happened back in the day. But she been in the Spielberg camp for a minute. Now you just ain't cool no more? Why? Spielberg and George still cool. What's wrong with you? Interesting. Mind you, these are two of the most creative people in Hollywood who were the push for all that independent creativity. Having your own studio, not having to be part of the Hollywood mainstream to put your movies out and having your vision. What's Kathleen Kennedy's vision? Her vision is seeing other people's shit that she likes and taking it for herself and then reselling it to you as hers. That's her vision. I mean, she doesn't have one. Now you get the idea. Now you get why I use that quote from the Fountainhead, the men of unborrowed vision. Unborrowed. Fantasy has been alive forever, right? Fantasy has been around forever, right? So what makes this and this person better than some of the other ones? Because it made it into a movie? God damn it. What makes it different? What makes Game of Thrones different from Lord of the Rings? They're both fantasy, right? They got dragons and shit. Knights. Swords. Armor. It's different because of the storyteller. The story in Game of Thrones is different than the story in Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is different than the story that goes on in the Drizzt series of books. It's different than the books that go on in the eldest, or not the eldest, but the Aragorn books. I forget the name of that author. My son loved him. Fantasy world, right? They got dragons, they got knights, they got swords. What's different? The story that they tell. Storyteller. That's what's different. Because fantasy is a genre, just like superheroes is a genre. Westerns is a genre. Sci-fi is a genre. But just because you set the story in a fantasy world or in space, don't mean that everything is the same. Star Trek is completely different from Star Wars. Just like it's completely different from Farscape. If you think you're going to do something completely different within somebody else's banner, somebody else's world that they created, you already fucked up. You should be out making your own universe in your own world. That's how that shit works. But you're not creative enough to do that. So get me right. This woman, while she's the head or the CEO of Lucasfilms, has worked to undermine Lucasfilms the whole time in there, destroy their established legacy characters, and replace them with female versions of the very same characters. For what? For an agenda? That's jealousy and envy. One thing that a a woman hates if you love something more than her. And if that your attention is on something that you show more love to than her. That's like a scorned lover. Woman scorned. That's why she's trying to burn that man's house down and all his characters. One of the most egregious things I heard about recently, because I didn't read this shit. I still have not read any of this High Republic shit. Even though I own one of the books, I have not read that shit. Can't bring myself to do it. But one of the things I was hearing was about this dumbass character called Geo the Rock. And how she was trying to make that character show up in this Acolyte show. Now that's new news to me. Like, really? Why? And then I got a description of what this character looks like because I didn't read the book. Couldn't bring myself to do it. It looks kind of like a flat tombstone. I'm like, oh, really? Now, how my mind processed that this is a character created by Kathleen Kennedy. It's called Geo the Rock, and it's a force-sensitive stone, but it looks like a tombstone. She did that for George. I think that's her gag. That is her insult to George Lucas. That's what it is. That is a stand-in for George Lucas because she hates him so much she wanted to put something in here to fuck with him. That's George. If you know how to spell geode, write geode on a piece of paper, and then right under it, write George, and see if you can't mix up a couple of the letters and get George out of it. Just saying, it's not the same number of letters, but this is how my brain works. Everything can be manipulated. Thank you, Architect. Now write George in there. See the similarity? Drop the R and you turn the G upside down and straighten it out. What do you have? That's her insult to George Lucas. Low key, subversive, passive aggressive insult to George Lucas. That's why she wants that motherfucker everywhere. She's a proponent of this character. She makes sure she pushes this character. She talks about it. Who would talk about a fucking rock? A force sensitive rock? At the same time, you're trying to make the force have a personality, some sass, I guess. At the same time, you're trying to fuck with the wheels and give a new chosen one narrative, all inside of a universe that already has a chosen one narrative? Huh. Yeah, exactly. Here lies your franchise, George. Exactly. That's why I said she came in like a xenomorph in this bitch. Came in through the mouth, gestated in their stomach, and gonna burst out of them like a chest burster. Taking on all their characteristics and killing the host in the process to make her new shit. But she didn't go off over there and start her own studio and take all these creative minds over and start her own production studio. Oh no, she wouldn't do that. Why not? because she wouldn't have Disney's resources and she wouldn't have the Lucas name, meaning she can't do it on her own. Like I've been saying forever, which is the reason I call her KK. She one strike away from being out this bitch. Artists and sound like Suge to anybody else for me. Which Suge you talking about? Suge Knight or Suge Avery? I take Suge Knight influence and money, but I wouldn't get Pot killed. I'd have got shot in my side trying to protect him. He said, Suge Knight. You telling us about your freaky fantasies, Toya? Got some Suge Knight fantasies. Some bomb the girl. I was always, especially back in the fucking late 80s and 90s, I was always the one that said looked like MC Ren. Did wear Raiders hats, but that was the style. Fucking batteries not included. This fucking bullshit. I'm flirting with you, Toya. I told you. You one of the two brave women that come over here on a regular basis. Let me keep it that way. Tell you a word of advice. You'd enjoy it, but I'd fuck it up eventually. Or maybe I wouldn't fuck it up. It would get fucked up eventually. Then you have to dislike me for liking me so much. Shit. I haven't even asked for a donation one time. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. On an hour in to the repeat part 2 stream. The next piece of bullshit to get off of KK. It's going to be that Ring of Power shit. It really is. Despite what everybody is saying about it, I don't know enough about this period in the Lord of the Rings legacy to really critique it. I'll be watching this just like I'm watching House of the Dragon. Just on the show, just on its merits, just on what they're showing me in this. I will not be able to go back and tell you how accurate one thing is over the other one. Because I haven't read all that shit. But like I do with most things that I don't know a whole hell of a lot about, I trust the people who do know a lot about it. Like, when Halo came out and y'all wanted me to tell you how accurate or inaccurate it was, I told you flat out, look, I didn't play the Halo games like that. That was my homeboy Ford. I'll talk to Ford and see what his take on that shit is and share with you what he told me, and I'll share with you what I got from watching material myself. But that's it. Same thing when it came to Sandman. I told you I didn't read Sandman. But I talked to my homeboy who did read every Sandman. Pete. And knew the material backwards and forwards. And then I watched the show and tell you what I thought about the show based on what I saw. I thought it was a good show. I watched an episode of that shit again last night. That Collector's episode was awesome. It was an awesome episode to me because that was creepy as hell because it's all subtext of what's going on. And if you walk into a situation like that, you would be a little leery of what was happening, not knowing how close danger was. That's what made it interesting. Now, Rings of Power, I don't know nothing about the Second Age. Nothing. I do see this shit looks ridiculous. I do think the black chick in there is miscast. It looks absolutely ridiculous in there. I'm tired of people trying to say they're doing something for black folks, and the first thing they want to throw up there is a big old overweight black woman That is not doing anything for black people. It's not. It is not. And I can tell you a secret from black folks, it don't look like you're doing us a favor either. That'd be like putting an Asian person on screen, but every time you put an Asian person on screen, they got to be round faced and bucktooth. That's a caricature. That is not a solid. You're not doing nobody a solid like that. Fuck you. Look, hey, I know they spent a shitload of money on the movie, on this series. I'm sure. You know why? Because Amazon got it. They got it. I'm not going to complain about how much money they spent on this shit. I just want to know if they got their money's worth. Because it looked like it's going to be a shitload of CG on this. Tell me, raise your hand if you think any episode of this is going to be better CG than what you've seen in 2 episodes of She-Hulk. Let me know. Since all they touting is how much they spent on it, I don't give a fuck. It wasn't my money. Or maybe it was. You know, I did buy a bunch of stuff off of Amazon one year. So what? It's their money. It's not like they got it out of my fucking pocket. So I don't give a fuck how much they spent on it. Was it worth it is the question. Can I watch this and see where the money went? Or can I watch it and say, like, how much did they spend on this? They need to shake their motherfucking pockets and ask Taika Waititi where the rest of that money at. Because it don't look like he spent it on this movie. It doesn't. Unless he just spent it on casting. He owe y'all some money. And might want to check his books. Oh, it will be way better. It better be better than She-Hulk. Yeah, it better be. 715 million. Okay, I don't know how special effects budgets, but 715 million sound like a lot of money. That's damn near $1 billion spent on one show. I don't know if that was licensing or trying to get the script written or whatever, but the interviews I've seen with the writers and directors of this shit, them motherfuckers don't know shit about Tolkien, and they just taking liberties to tell their goofy ass story. And it's funny how every time you see these questionable ass shows show up, and there's 2 dudes up there sitting there. One of them got to be sweet as tar, sweet as tea. Got more sugar in this tank than CNH trucks. Come on, man. What the fuck? Always somebody suspect. Always. Go down the list and name them. Because the top of my list comes in to be the Russos. The next one was the Wachowskis. Now these 2 goofy dudes. They're the 2 dudes that was on Game of Thrones and gave you season 8. Come on, man. These motherfuckers squishy. That's why you saw so much dick in Game of Thrones. They know their audience. You a gay porn. You make you watch it. So I don't give a fuck how much money they spent on it. It's not my money anyway. It's not. Same thing I said about the Batgirl movie getting put on the shelf. Warner Brothers money is not my money. So they can spend it on whatever the fuck they want to. And if they spent that much money on it and decided they didn't want to put the shit out, that's their business. You know, there was a musician, really good one out of Minneapolis, who spent bunches of money, millions of dollars, on making videos and movies and costumes and musicians and all the stuff that he shot on his own at his place. And he put that shit away in a vault so nobody could see it. Did I think I had any say so over that? Well, that was a bunch of money you spent on that, Prince. It gives you the right to spend all that money and then just put it on the shelf. The fact that it's their fucking money and not yours. You do whatever the fuck they want with it. They paid for it. So what? Oh, well, the actors and the directors get another job. You have no rights to this shit. You made a movie for somebody else on their dime. They paid you to do this. Because don't tell me you worked a whole year and didn't get paid off of this thing. No fucking way. You still got cell phones and internet connections, don't you? Okay, so you got paid. Shut up. I want to hear that shit. It's not like he did all this shit pro bono. Oh, they didn't put the movie out. I'm never going to get paid. You got paid, motherfucker. You wouldn't even showed up to do it. Shut up. Do what the fuck they want to with that movie. As far as I know, that was Warner Brothers Studios, not your studio. It wasn't an indie film that you financed yourself. Somebody paid you to make that. I mean, they own it. And when they own it, they can do whatever the fuck they want to with it. They put it on the shelf. Nobody will ever see it. Tough shit. Go make another movie. Move on with your career. Yeah, the Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was an awesome show to me. It did in the beginning not grab me because it did the standard thing that HBO does. Every HBO series, they throw a lot of sex in the first season, the first couple of episodes to get people to show up and watch the show. Because sex is salacious enough to get people talking about the damn show. Not to mention the first episode, you got incest between sister and brothers. You also got the attempted murder of a child. The first episode. Wow. Toy, you never watched Game of Thrones? Yeah, I'm never flirting with your ass. You ain't got enough geek in you. And there's a dirty joke I could insert there, but I'm not going to insert it. I'm a pullback. You should watch Game of Thrones, Toya. You should. I know for black women, they probably ain't that much in there for you because it's just a bunch of white folks in medieval times. But I watch shit like that to see how white folks is fucked up to each other. So in some ways, I don't feel so bad about them being fucked up to us. It's like, that's just in their nature. It's just who the fuck they are. You better adjust to that shit. They give a fuck about each other, let alone you. And this one is all, fictional. It's all fictional. It's not like you're talking about Louis the 15th or nothing like that. It's all fictional characters. So I can get into the fictional medieval world. I like the fantasy medieval world setting for one reason. Because it's more about honor. It's like the Old West in a way, right? The Old West to me is romanticized to me for one reason. You had your freedom. There was a right thing to do and a wrong thing. You choose. You choose what you want to do, but you will pay for that shit immediately. You want to roll into a bar in the Western and start talking crazy to any old person in there where everybody got a 6-gun, homie. Maintain low tones and calm the fuck down. Or we could settle this out in the streets. I catch you riding out of town at your campfire and just show up at that night and put one in you and ride off with your horse. And that's it. Medieval times, it was kind of like that. There was a little bit more, honor among that. You had your freedom to go somewhere and get lost. But you also had your freedom to cut somebody down who was trying to fuck with you. So they did it at their own expense. Try it. Try it if you want to. But people I look up to out of that fantasy era were noble. They didn't go starting shit with people, but they finished everything people started with them. They finished all of it. What's up, Aaron? Aquatech ain't watch Game of Thrones? Well, you and Toya got some homework. You should just watch it. Watch. I tell you this, Aquatech and Toya. Watch 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. 2 episodes of season 1 of Game of Thrones. And decide from there if you would want to watch the rest of the show. Decide from there. And then I won't say anything else to you about it. I won't. Because I already know I gave Toya some homework on some other movies to watch, and I ain't heard back from her yet. So they were either too scary or she got busy. This is just all between us. I can't hold you to this shit at all, but I can hold you to it and ask you, like, what's happened on those movies you're supposed to watch? But I'll be the last one to fuck with you hardcore on that because I got a backlog of books, comics, movies, and games. And time. So yeah, that's what I like. She said, okay, artisan. Say it in the sultry voice. Okay, artisan. My bad. I said I wasn't going for it. I watched the series and read all of the books. I'm a grand maester of the Citadel. There you go, Pragmatic Prime. Nothing wrong with that. I have this one book. I have not read it. I got this one from, I think it was my friend Chris or Ford got me this book when they turned it into an HBO show. And this is the first book to read. Now, I haven't gone back and read it because at the time, the show was going on. So I'm into watching the show. Now that the show has finished, yeah, see, I got this book. That's something I do in all my books. You can do it if you want to. You don't have to. If you're worried about, doing crime one time in your life and police want a handwriting sample, don't write your name in your book. But I write my name in every one of the books I get. But I also date it. So where it says 12/24/2012 is when I got this book. I got it as a Christmas gift. To give me the story of the Game of Thrones so I can read it. And I haven't gone back and read it yet because I had a shitload of stuff to read. But at some point, I will get to it. But I am an aficionado of the show. Do love the show. But you would never hear me trying to tell you exactly what's in the fucking book because I haven't read it. And I wouldn't set myself up like that. You did your Matrix homework? Good. No spankings on the butt for you. Only love taps. I forgot what the question was. I asked you on the Matrix stuff, but it was probably to watch the rest of that stuff before you ever watch Resurrections. But now that you did your Matrix homework, if you feel like watching Resurrections, go ahead and you'll see how that shit matches up to the rest of it. She did her homework. That's good. It's awesome. Everybody like a woman who can take some direction. And that wasn't even a direction. I just said, hey, you can do it if you want. That's pretty much how the rest of the shit go. I have hard and fast rules for myself. Yes, it was exactly that. I'm not that old yet. I remember stuff pretty accurately. But just leave a little room to make mistakes. Because mistakes can be made. No, Pragmatic Crime. I have not watched the Full Metal Alchemist live action film. I have not. I was never really that big of a fan of Full Metal Alchemist. I liked Full Metal Panic more than Full Metal Alchemist. And they got into doing too many side shows that fucked up the order for me. I couldn't discern the order in which that stuff was supposed to be watched. So I never really got back into it. I know the overview of the characters and stuff, the setup of the story, and some of the stuff they got into because I saw a couple of scattered episodes, but it's not in sequential order in a sense. So I don't jump in on that too much. Toya likes being instructed. Good. I like instructing. Told you I'm a Sigma in the streets, Alpha in the sheets. Well, WP put some money behind it, so the effects are better than the first one. That's understandable. Brotherhood is the main storyline. Live action films follow Brotherhood. Quit it. Toya's Friday. It's Freaky Friday. Don't get me started. You test your own teasing a Scorpio on Friday. No problem. It's your own problem. You don't fuck with a Scorpio on Freaky Friday. Anyway, I'm an hour 30 in. Y'all got some questions you can ask them. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and start doing something a little more mind numbing and more relaxing so I can think about the rest of the stuff I got swirling around in my head. I'll be in the shop tomorrow. I have to see if this computer will work with this docking station and whatnot. I'm not looking forward to going into the shop because it's going to be depressing being in there. It is. But I gotta finish this stuff up and get this shit out of here. Save myself some money for the meantime. Fucking Toya. Anyway, questions, concerns, comments, complaints. The complaint box is on your way out. It's next to the exit door on your way out. If that's it, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this out. Like I was saying, just to wrap up, we are in a lull right now, big geek stuff. But September, everything else is coming down the chute. You're gonna be into the home stretch for the end of the year. You got this newer Star Wars stuff coming out with the Andor show. We'll see what that's going to be. Nobody really knows outside of it being some feminist shit. Excuse me. It's a Kathleen Kennedy show. That says it all right there. You got this Rings of Power shit. You seen the trailers? Okay. Whatever the fuck. Let's see what it is. We got a black dwarf in chains, or a black elf in chains, or not even black, a beige elf in chains. He looks like, Grey Worm jumped over to the Tolkien universe and is supposed to be a dark elf. He ain't dark at all. He light-skinned elf, averaging elf. But I don't know who the fuck Don Lemon is. I don't know anything about him at all. But whatever. I guess I'll see what that piece of shit is. If I'm dealing with the three of those at the same time, She-Hulk, Rings of Power, and Andor, and it's awesome, some guy don't watch the gender stuff, I'm not going to be happy, camper. I'll tell you all that right now. I'm not going to be happy. It's going to tax my fucking patience. But I guess we'll see what we see. Um, some other stuff coming up in September too. But after September, you get into October. I think that's when the Bad Batch is going to come out for Lucasfilms, and then you got some stuff for somebody else. Got something coming out in October. Can't remember what it is. But then you get into November, birthday month, and oh shit, it's the 26th. I think it's Angry Man's birthday today. I'm gonna go tell him happy birthday. Getting a November birthday month, and then you'll get Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. You'll get that in November to see what that shit is, and then something in December. I'm forgetting right now, but that's it. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. Click the bell if you subscribe so you get alerts when I go live, because I do it randomly. And check the community tab, because I'm debating on watching some anime tonight for Patreon folks. So if you see a link in the community section, maybe you want to hit it, because it won't be live on YouTube at all. It'll be a private stream, and we'll just be watching some anime. I'm thinking I gotta catch up on my Shield Hero 2. I was talking to my homeboy, Artie Idmore. He hadn't seen season 1 of Shield Hero. I'm like, hey, we ain't even having the same conversation. So he's catching up on his Shield Hero. So I gotta catch up on my Shield Hero 2. Maybe even Naruto Shippuden. I hit a filler episode yesterday, so I wasn't feeling that too much, but whatever. But other than that, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for coming through, listening to my geek speak and my views on some of this shit. Otherwise, I will see you next live, planned live, scheduled live, Sunday, Shop Talk Live, 11 a.m. Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. And we will talk about this and other stories. Or we'll just talk. That's it. That'll be your panel discussion. But I'm Artisan MC, and I will see you next time this geek has something he wants to speak about. Peace.